Okay. So the next piece, we're going to be using the water's edge breath. And my guess is, Miriam, you might not be familiar with this breath. It's one that's kind of, well, it is unique to me. I know some other teachers have used it since I have, so maybe you know it. But I think, no, okay. So both Kim and Lori, I think you did this with me live once. But I'm going to mute everybody and just plug in a mic for this one because it can be a little bit tricky to hear, and I think you'll have the best shot if I use the mic. So like that. Okay, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so the water's edge breath can be a little tricky to explain, but it is awesome. I'm biased, but so this breath, the sound can sound a little bit like the ujjayi breath in yoga in terms of kind of what it might sound like, or maybe like a heightened lunar breath. But it's really more of kind of a state of being, and then the breath follows. So when we make this breath, our mouth is closed, and it's almost like the sound in the breath is just coming through our body being. And it's like we're letting our bodies be breathed. It's called the water's edge breath because to me, the sound, the sensation is like, when the water comes in at a shore and it goes through and it penetrates the rocks or the sand, and then it comes back out. So it comes in through the rocks and the sand, and then it goes back out. And so the sound happens both on the inhale and the exhale. But it's like we let ourselves be wide, and it's like the breathing is happening and the sound is happening, not so much from the throat, not so much from the lungs, but literally as our body, the fullness of our whole entire body is being breathed. And for me, there's a lateralization that happens. I often find that my eyes kind of go wide as I'm dropping into this state. And it's like the being is being penetrated kind of in and out with the breath. So the breath would be the water, and the body would be like the sand or the rock that it's coming through. So I'll just demo it here. So I don't know if you were able to actually hear that, but a little bit. Okay, so it's if you think of if you know lunar, thinking of you dry, it's like just like what you hear, and your sound might be different as you're doing it. Mine even changes as I do it. Sometimes it's very soft, sometimes it's really much louder, but our mouths are closed, and it's like we're being breathed underneath the lungs, underneath all of our tissues. And if you just think of this sound coming through as like water going through the shore back and forth, then you'll get a sense for it, a feel for it. And just see how that state of being, that way of breathing emerges for you, because it might look different. And so we're going to use the sound of the water's edge to, once we've opened up with the pedal breath, we've had our open attention, we're going to use that to let the the breath penetrate our body, penetrate our tissues, and it could be, nourishing, cleansing, moving. Eros is certainly possible here. So just leave the door open for that possibility and really seeing, where can I invite more breath into my body, and where can I penetrate my body even deeper with my own consciousness as it's coming through here. And so it's think wide, think open, think boundaryless, and just let yourself be moved with it. And I would say to do this as long as you'll come to a place where it feels like, okay, it's time to come to the next piece. So it's not the kind of thing where I'll say, 4 breaths, 5 breaths, just be with it until you feel done with that part for now, knowing you can come back to it with another layer. But do you have any questions here? I'll take the mic out and I will unmute people.